We were skiing yesterday. I don't know if I've ever seen anyone who looks more like they belong. Shots of me.
What is up? We are in Frisco. What are you thinking about this? What's our game plan?
Mountains. Game plan is and always has been get coffee and then to dominate the world.
I'm kind of falling away from my love of coffee, to be honest.
No, you're not.
I think coffee's a little overrated now. I went back to green tea.
Have you been drinking bad coffee?
Yeah. I think that's the biggest problem. So I went to green tea for a while, and it's really good. And I don't feel like I have to brush my teeth right after I drink it. Also, I just feel like a better human. I just think coffee's kind of overrated.
We were skiing yesterday. I don't know if I've ever seen anyone who looks more like they belong on the mountain. with his hair and his like bandana, just skiing.
But the problem is if he looked for too long, then he was like, oh yeah, he doesn't belong here. Because then I was on the ground or something. We're shaking so many times.
You went through the trees a bunch.
Yeah, I kept trying to go through the trees. I'm really surprised I'm not hurt more than I am.
I'm just a little stiff in the neck.
There's so many times I was going through the trees, and I was like, ooh, yeah, I'm going too fast. Ooh, there's a tree right there. At one point, one ski went on the right side of a tree, and the other ski went on the left. And then I just had to just like pull out my arms to stop myself, or else I would have just really hurt myself.
I went in once and I got hurt and I left. never to go in again.
You went in, hey. You went in.
I thought it was just a little tour, but it was like into the forest. And I was like, no.
I saw you go in, I was like, I'm gonna stop. And it was no joke 10 minutes until you came out.
Yeah, I lost the ski in there.
Hungry and tired, and so we're back in the condo. Eric's doing a little bit of I mean, he's still doing the same thing. He's writing.
Literally, we'll be forever.
What's our plan for the rest of the day? What do you think? What should we do?
You said coffee's overrated, but I'm thinking you just overrule that by having more coffee.
Yeah. So we're probably going to go to another coffee shop.
We don't have to sit and chill there. We'll just meander around and grab to go. I broke this.
So look at our view. Oh. I guess you can't. Just a second. Here, let me figure out how to fix the camera. Oh. Okay, so here is why I'm surprised I'm in Colorado right now. Just a second. We're good. Okay. So, about a month ago, I was in Colorado already. And actually, I was heading up to Colorado. And I signed up for a retreat. This was a silent retreat, Ignatian silent retreat in Nebraska. And I was very excited to go. And it's something I've always wanted to do. And so I signed up for it, I heard about it, got the website, and did it. It was like a spur of the moment, I'm going to do this. Because honestly, if you're like me, the more you wait for something, the more you wait to act upon something, the more likely you're not gonna actually do that thing. Now, my desire to go on a retreat has dated back a very long time ago. Even if you followed me since the very beginning, which I don't know how many of you actually have done that, or if you've watched any of my very first videos, I don't really recommend it because I really wasn't good at this, but you know, it's, if you want to, just go do it. But I made a video, or multiple videos, about being in South Dakota, and I was supposed to go on a 3-week trip, and I kind of had a mental breakdown and just drove right back to Wichita after like a week of that trip. And that was the first time that I realized that I really struggle with silence. I struggle with being by myself, and I've always wondered and been curious, like, why? Is that a bad thing? And is that something that I really, really need to work through to become better at it? Because silence is good, but is 3 weeks of silence good, or is a week of silence good? Because I've always wanted to be able to go like 3 weeks by myself and just like be in the woods and just be by myself. And so I've pushed myself to try to do that. But is that necessarily good? So that trip was about a year ago. Now, from then, fast forward to about 6 months, I don't think that is the don't you just hate when you get hair in your mouth? It's so annoying. So about 6 months ago, I decided, okay, I'm gonna not go crazy and try to do 3 months of being by myself. I'm just gonna do 3 days. So I signed up to go to the Spiritual Life Center, which is a place, retreat kind of place in Wichita, or just outside of Wichita. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do 3 days of silence by myself. That time, I lasted a day. Now, that was the second attempt, and I lasted 1 day of silence before I got anxious, and I just freaked out, and then I left. So by now you're probably thinking, wow, this guy has a problem. He can't be by himself. What's wrong with him? I'm also at that point. So about a month ago, when I was heading up here to Colorado, I signed up for that retreat in Nebraska. That retreat is going on right now. That retreat was this weekend. I was signed up for that retreat until Wednesday night. So come Wednesday night, again, the retreat was in Nebraska, 4-hour drive from where I live in Wichita. I wanted to split that in half, so I went to Manhattan Wednesday night just to finish my drive Thursday morning to Nebraska. Manhattan's a 2-hour drive, and I stay with my buddy. Well, my buddy that I stayed with was the same guy that I was planning to go to Colorado with this weekend, until I realized that the Colorado trip and the retreat were on the same weekend, so it didn't work out. And he just asked me about the retreat. He was like, well, are you sure you want to go? He's just like, think about Colorado, think about kind of like doing some recording in Colorado, and he just like made me think about it. Up until then, I was just dead set on this retreat. I was like, this is finally, this is gonna be the silent retreat. I'm gonna prove to myself that I can be silent. I'm gonna prove to myself that I can be alone in silence with God, and that's it. And here I am in Colorado with 3 other buddies of mine. And there was just something Wednesday night that was just like, let's go to Colorado. Let's go to Colorado. Let's have good time in community with people. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. So I woke up Thursday morning like, what the heck? I was so excited for this retreat, and now I'm going to Colorado. What's wrong with me? Why am I so flaky? Why am I changing my mind every 2 seconds? What is this? And I just got anxious. Am I really missing out on something? Is Colorado the right choice, or is going to this retreat the right choice? It was just, why am I not going to this silent retreat? And then I started feeling guilty about not going on the silent retreat. But I caught myself real quick. I'm like, what? Yeah. Why do I feel guilty? I'm not letting anybody down. I'm not sinning by not going on a silent retreat. Why do I feel guilty? And I sat on that for a while until I realized, and this is a just now realization, that the devil is really good at making us question the decisions in our life. the devil is really good at making us question the divine influence in our life.
Hey, I'm gonna take a poop and then we're good to go.
It's really at a deep moment in this conversation.
Sounds about right. Love you.
Damn it. Where was I? So there's this book that I'm reading called The Abandonment to Divine Providence. And it's all about, there's a line in it that kind of sums the book up. And I'm going to butcher this line, but it goes something like, divine influence in our lives right now is respected and appreciated as much as the Jews appreciated and respected Jesus while he was on earth. And they crucified Jesus. And we don't respect the divine influence in our lives at all. So this book that I've been reading, I started that book on the day I went to Colorado a month ago. So it's been a month since I've been reading this book, and it is just changing my thought on my life decisions, on whether I'm going the right way in life, whether going to Colorado or this retreat is a good call, whether or not I should make videos or do a podcast, or whatever questions I have in life. This book is just changing everything about my thought process. Because in the end, it's divine influence working in your life. All the power, the only power the devil has is to make you question divine influence, make you question whether or not you made the right choice. Okay, I'm gonna move inside because I kind of lost my train of thought after Eric ruined that, and also I think it might be a little bit windy. So basically what I'm getting at is, in my life, every time that I've started to second guess something, it's done nothing but hinder my improvement. When I'm trying to put everything on myself, when I'm trying to push things, then it's done nothing but hinder my progress. And that's the devil just throwing thoughts into your mind of, well, was this a good move? Or no, you kind of messed up here, you messed up there. No, you didn't. Divine influence doesn't mess up. And I really think this is a huge changing point in my life, because how much time have I spent recalling a bad decision that I've made, and kind of just sat back and be like, man, I really wish I didn't make that decision, or man, really wish I would have went to that retreat instead of Colorado. And I sit back and I don't enjoy the moment. I don't appreciate the moment that God gave me right here and right now, and I'm not present. And so instead of appreciating the present, instead of being here now, I'm thinking about what I could have done different. And that is a fantastic move by the devil. So let's not fall to that again. Let's stop second guessing divine providence. Stop second guessing yourself, and understand that there's a reason that you made the decision that you made. There's a reason I messed up so many times in high school. There's a reason that I haven't been able to be by myself in a silent retreat. There's a reason for that. I don't know. Maybe I don't know the reason right now. But then again, I don't even know what's best for me, because God does. I can have an idea of what's best for me, and I can go try to chase dreams, but in the end, God knows what's best for me. God's gonna lead me to my final end, to my perfection, because He created me for my perfection, and my perfection is what He created me to be. I'm not gonna lead myself there. He's gonna lead me there. So who am I to think my decisions might mess that up? Wow. Yikes. Yikes. I hope that makes sense. I really wasn't expecting to say that, but yikes. That's something to think about. Hey, you done pooping? So it's 2:38, and once Eric gets out of the bathroom, we're gonna go and spend some more time in Frisco, Colorado. Downtown, what up? Yeah. So Eric and I are walking downtown Frisco.
You know that Patrick's eyes look like the earth? It goes blue and then green.
If I want my eyes to be blue, I wear a blue color shirt.
Which is something I noticed while staring into his eyes.
Eric, we were in the middle of the conversation. He just got lost in my eyes. It was the first time it's ever happened to me. I am very flattered. Anyways, we're talking about what I just said in the vlog about abandonment. And is this our car?
Yeah,
this is our car.
Walking to support the vlog.
Let's just get in the car.
Okay.
Anyways, complete abandonment to God. And he brings up a good point because there's, just like anything.
Eric brought up a good point.
Well,
yeah. There was like a big truck right to our right earlier.
no, he's just bad at parking. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, also that. Also, you're beautiful and you have white teeth.
That's on the vlog. What do you have to say?
You heard it. Every woman in Colorado is gorgeous. They're fit and beautiful.
So, just like anything,
they all have white teeth like
just like anything, you have to find what works for you, and you have to be self-aware about where you're at with your relationship with God. And so I have to be really careful when I'm saying just abandon yourself to God, and everything that you do will end up being okay, because that does not mean that I can go sin forever and then it's all part of God's plan, and it's totally fine, because I do believe that there is a certain amount of there's an amount of trying that God wants, right?
Yeah, which is it's annoying because it's like still technically true. Like this is the God, and it's like this is the same thing as a prodigal son. Like, and at the end, I'm getting pretty blasphemous.
Right? Like, this is such a hard topic that I'm really mad at myself for even starting this vlog.
Like, don't get delusional with it. Like, yeah. To what is it? What's that sin that you do all the time? That not you, that people do. It's
presumption.
Yeah, presumption on God's mercy.
Yeah. So like, we're not called to live like, oh, God will forgive me. Rather, we're called to strive for greatness, for being the best person we can be. But when we fall, we have to understand that God's mercy is so much greater.
He wants to be part of the journey. Like he wants to tag along. He created you for a reason. You don't need to abandon all of yourself. He wants to be there. He wants to live through you vicariously.
Oh man, yeah. Exactly. That's
I mean, like,
I have nothing else to say.
He created the world to share in his love, and he wants to be a part of that equation.
Yeah. Like you always, that you got from something, and you tell me pretty much every time we talk almost. God already had just him. He wants you to be a part of it. That's what you say, right? I don't know. I'm bad at listening.
Well, it's the balance. It's exactly that. But the other extreme is like not including God. That we're like, oh yeah, I really want to drink a lot tonight and the next 30 nights.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Like there's doing whatever you want, like the worldly view, and then there's doing anything together, and that's the happy medium.
Yeah. Because and I really do believe like that's where we start clicking, and that's where we start to get it, is when we understand that everything I do is with God. And then you like naturally, I really do believe this, you naturally end up at Mass. You naturally go to adoration more. And you don't really like, when you truly experience that beauty, you don't desire to go drink. You don't desire to go sin.
Yeah. That's a big hump in like the idea of finding the flame, like bringing God in. The whole journey is that as you do that, and as you grow closer and closer, you're gonna hit like this moment where they can't coexist.
Right. Oh, that's good. Which, by the way, I really don't say finding the flame that much in this vlog. So finding the flame is, yeah, I guess it isn't like big enough, I guess, or something. I don't know. It's getting there. Yeah.
Also,
so
like,
I don't know if I have it.
Mountains and carbonation bubbles are what make me believe in God.
So we're sitting at this, it's a shop / brewery kind of place, and in a beer, I guess it happens in a pop.
Soda too, yeah.
Hey, we're both 21, so it's okay that we're drinking.
We're drinking daddy sodas.
We had one beer, settled down, jeez. Anyways, the carbonation at the bottom of a beer that just keeps going? It just shows up and it's just like bubbly, bubbly, bubbly. It doesn't come from anything. It's just literally bubbles appear.
It's like how God creates from nothing. And that's a stupid, annoying analogy, but like,
I don't know if I believe that. I don't know.
I love God so much, it's just like I just see him in everything.
Okay, anyways.
He infiltrated my drinking.
Anyways, Eric was like, those bubbles are the reason I believe in God. And I was like, wow, okay. Anyways, Finding the Flame is a media company that about a year ago, a little over a year ago, this dude and I started meeting up and just talking. And the media company, basically our goal is to just put out good, solid, Christian media. What do you think?
Well, the whole origins was like, I was writing a get out of porn resource, and you were writing a get out of porn resource.
Yep.
And I was like, we need to combine efforts, like, so that we're not competing, we're helping each other.
Right.
And like what that has turned into is just like the most powerful, beautiful message ever of Finding the Flame, like that name, and then like all the stuff that we are gonna put out just resembles that.
Yeah. You know what's super fascinating about that is like that was a year and a little bit ago, and I was in Colorado when Eric texted me and was like, yo, I just read part of Strong 30. I love it. What can we do
to help each other?
And then like my drive back from Colorado was spent calling Eric because I kept running into dead spots. But we were just talking about like our views on porn and like how to help ourselves
like
and other people get out.
We really started talking a lot.
Yeah, and like it's fascinating because we're back in Colorado now.
Still talking a lot.
Still talking a lot.
Still working through dead zones.
My right arm just got really tired of holding this, so I switched over to the left.
You should consider CrossFit.
I don't do CrossFit.
You should consider.
Wrong answer. Everything's CrossFit.
Wrong answer.
That's what Eric said. He asked me if I did CrossFit. I said no. He said, wrong answer. Everything's CrossFit. I don't know what that means.
If you ever do CrossFit, you understand.
I've never skied when it's snowing.
Yo, this is dope.
There's one person. Hopefully Nate's right there and Luke is right there.
Oh, look, there's someone falling down the mountain.
Yep, must be Nate Hoffman. But yeah, anyways, I just really wanted to use this time to explain Finding the Flame and the idea that it started with. Then also, this is Eric Scott. I don't know how many videos you've watched, but I drop his name a lot. This is Eric Scott. He's writing the book Finding the Flame, actually.
Basically, like the core concept of it. It's a book on identity.
Yeah.
And then getting out of porn is just a side effect.
Right. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say.
Also a callback on abandonment. That's where this started.
You're good at memory. How do you memorize things? How do you memory? Thanks for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and hit subscribe. Is it when I watch my videos, I'm like, oh yeah, it's just this side. Yeah, it would be right here. Patches, just hit subscribe.
Also Eric Scott. I've been putting out more videos.
Also Eric Scott. He's been putting out really dope videos, actually.
We got a Lenten series.
Yeah. If you're struggling with your Lenten fast, go watch his videos. Really good takes, especially if you're addicted to porn.
Yeah, this series it's the Addict's Guide to Lent.
Yep.
And it's just kind of rethinking, like getting in a new train of thought.
Yep. Exactly. But yeah, like this video. Do whatever you want. Hope to see you next time.